I'm working on a long ass video right now, but this just happened and I gotta talk about it because it's equally important and concerning as it is hilarious. So just a couple days ago, a plane coming from Egypt was seized in Zambia, carrying a bunch of money. According to official sources, specifically $5.7 million. Some unofficial ones have said it's 11 million. We'll get to that later. Along with some guns and ammo and around 127 kilograms of what looks like gold but is said to be copper. We'll also get to that in a second.
The aircraft was from Cairo in Egypt, and it was actually headed to Zambia. The itinerary, according to the manifest, it indicates that it was supposed to fly back again to Egypt. That is what we have as at now. On the same aircraft, we also seized 5 firearms, namely pistols. We also seized 7 magazines. Magazines are those items where you put in the rounds before loading onto a firearm. We also seized 126 rounds of ammunition. In addition to that, we also seized 602 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127.2 kgs. The nationalities of the people that we have detained, we have 6 Egyptians, 1 Spanish, 1 Dutch.
So right away the government did what they do best and tried to censor the whole thing, but considering it's on Zambian land, it obviously failed and news got out. So the next best thing is to deny responsibility, saying the plane passed through Egypt only as transit in an attempt to make it clear that this plane isn't theirs. But this theory has 2 problems. 1, if it is indeed not your plane, why are you so scared of news about it getting out? And 2, how did that amount of illegal items get through the airport here? Customs here are cancer, as you all know. They would search your underwear if they could. So you're telling me 5 guns, 7 magazines, a bunch of ammo, 602 alloys weighing 127 kilograms of gold, or whatever the fuck they are, along with 10 personnel, got by without any trouble?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Shit happens.
That isn't consistent with how customs behave normally, and people have pointed it out by sharing past feats of said customs. The Eagles of Customs stopped me one time when I was coming back. I was asked how long I'd been outside. I said 4 months. He said, no, that's a lot of luggage for 4 months. I told him I'm a student and there's nothing in the bags except my clothes and I barely got them to close. He said he'd help me close it up again, opened the first bag and found nothing, so he left. I swear I spent 10 minutes trying to get it to close again. Cairo International Airport seizes a batch of smuggled wigs and natural hair. I don't know about you, but I find it hard to believe that a system that you can't get smuggled wigs through would let the other stuff we mentioned earlier through so easily. Unless it's theirs, which we all already knew was happening, because where does all the country's money go otherwise? It has to be getting snuck outside into private banks for the people in power or something similar. And the fact that the gold is not stamped proves this, because legit gold has stamps on it that show the details and origins of it, as well as the fact that 6 of the 10 personnel on it are Egyptians. People are still wondering why gold is getting more expensive in Egypt, even though it's getting cheaper internationally. Then came the news of the plane in Zambia to answer their questions. Tier 4 joke that won't make sense if translated. And we used to mock the Muslim Brotherhood tweets that talked about smuggling dollars and gold in plain sight from Cairo airport. And to be clear, I'm not siding with the Brotherhood here. A lot of Egyptian retards assume that because I opposed to the current military system, it's either boot or beard, no other possible choices. With that in mind, I do have to be objective and say the journalism the Brotherhood is doing right now to expose the system is outstanding work. Their motives may be malicious, sure, but the fact of the matter still stands. This exact plane has been hella up and about recently. Plane, over the recent months, has made more than 100 trips in its log between El Alamein, Libya, Dubai, Zambia, and other places. Of Egypt's government stepping in to end this crisis quickly and release the plane without publishing its owner's name draws very, very big question marks on this. Another interesting thing is that the system denying the plane being affiliated with Egypt got debunked. This exact plane has been seen before on multiple occasions being used by government higher-ups. I don't know how to tell you this, sir, but it turns out that the Egyptian Minister of Internal Affairs is shown in photos exiting that same plane, and people found the photos on the Egyptian Ministry of Internal Affairs page. Naturally, the Zambians took some of the stuff right at the airport after it was found. I mean, who wouldn't want a piece of that cake? There are also theories that the gold is in fact gold, not copper alloys, as stated by Zambia's government, and that statement came out after the Egyptians' interference. A parallel to that theory is that the sum of the money was originally 11 million, but the Zambians took half of it as a form of ransom for releasing the plane and keeping it quiet on the details. That's not confirmed, it's just conjecture. I am willing to believe it though. Also, why would copper be smuggled like this, along with guns, ammunition, and a tub's worth of dollars? It just makes no sense. Like, copper is around $4 a pound, you might as well have just bought that shit. Now, I am aware it's a valuable material and shit, and it's worth smuggling. I'm just saying it wouldn't be done like this, nor on a scale this small. It's just really sketchy. Furthermore, people in Zambia are accusing their leaders of corruption, which, like, no shit, it's in Africa, and lying about the gold so they can slip it into their own pockets. Do you know that the opposition in Zambia are accusing the Minister of Mining of hijacking the gold from the plane and announcing it's copper, and accusing him of corruption? I have a question, seriously, the people who genuinely believe it could be copper, why would 125 kilos of copper need armed guards, guns, and $11 million with it? Another tier 4 joke, sorry. And that's the third theory, which I'm also totally down to believe. Zambia stole the gold, especially since it's not stamped, and said it's copper. A funny little detail in this is a discrepancy on the plane's registration number between the official DEC report about the incident from Zambia and the news. DEC stated it as T7WW, whereas news say it's T7WSS. I would normally believe the official statement over freelance news agencies, but let's not forget that Zambia is an African country like Egypt, aka a mess. So I think both sources are equally credible here. Make of it what you will. Another interesting thing happened. This account, Tribes of Sinai Union, has shown suspicious interest in this whole incident, despite the fact that literally nobody even mentioned Sinai in this prior to them talking about it. Even more entertaining is that they deleted that tweet. Yes, it's called a tweet, eat a dick Elon, which further confirms the suspicions. But why is this important? Well, there's this really fun guy called Ibrahim Al-Argani who has been active there for years now, but we only came to learn of him recently through a certain woman who leaked a bunch of shit about the president and his system. This Argani guy, gangster name by the way, is essentially the system's ironclad fist in Sinai. He's responsible for the displacement of the Bedouins there, skirmishes, running a secret militia that operates at the system's command, and he also is an arms dealer. Oh, and an engineer, which is like almost worse than being an arms dealer. Something is seriously wrong with them. I've yet to meet a well-adjusted engineer, like it's crazy. So this suspicious behavior by their official Twitter account has drawn eyes to him as the potential owner of the plane's cargo. And it checks out because guns, check, ammo, check, money, check, gold, check. Little known fact, Sinai is full of minerals that we see nothing of, including, you guessed it, gold. And then their deletion of the tweet essentially confirmed it unofficially. So it belongs to Ibrahim Al-Argani. To end this, there is a neat, not so little comprehensive report of the incident by a free news agency that aimed to debunk shit officials say. There are a few of those. I included a clip from a different one in the load shedding video. The first part is a recap of all I just said, so I'll skip it, but you can pause now to read it if you wish. Cairo International Airport was on the plane's itinerary throughout recent months, along with other airports in Egypt. So our team tracked the plane's movements during these months through public sources and plane tracking sites, matched the itinerary with photos and news that local news published to find some relation to the authorities. The team did find many matches between visits of official security forces and the plane's movements, before the doubt was completely eliminated by the photo of the Egyptian Minister of Internal Affairs with a security force on an official visit to Tunisia. How did Egyptian authorities use a private plane seized in Zambia? The presence of that private plane coincides with the presence of important Egyptian personnel more than once, most remarkably the Minister of Internal Affairs with a security force on the visit to Tunisia last March. The private plane, bearing the name the Bombardier Global Express, has the registration number T7WSS, registered in the Republic of San Marino, painted white with blue and grey intersecting stripes. The website Airport Info showed the arrival of the plane in Cortage International Airport in Tunisia at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, 28th of February 2023, which aligns with the photo published by the official Ministry of Internal Affairs page, showing the same plane in the Tunisian airport where the registration number is shown clearly on the tail of the plane. The photo that the ministry published of the private plane that was seized in Zambia shows the Minister of Internal Affairs, Mahmoud Tawfiq, during his arrival at the Cortage airport in Tunisia at the head of a high-level Egyptian security force to take part in the 40th round of the Council of Arab Ministers of Internal Affairs. The ambassador, Ehab al-Badawi, shown along with the minister, is the assistant of the Minister of External Affairs and National Security. Once again, the plane tracking sites show a coincidence between the plane's movement and official Egyptian delegations, where the plane's log shows its arrival from Cairo in Jeddah's airport on the 13th of May 2023, then departure for Cairo from El Riyadh on the 16th of May 2023, hours before the start of the meeting of Arab Ministers of External Affairs, which an Egyptian delegation was attending to represent Egypt. 4 days after, specifically on the 17th of May 2023, the plane leaves Cairo airport headed to the Libyan capital, Tripoli, coinciding with the head of the the Libyan government, Abdel Hamid el-Dabbiba, reception of an Egyptian security delegation and agents from the Egyptian intelligence agency in Cairo. Our team cannot confirm the responsibility of authorities for the exit of the cargo on the plane to Zambia, or that the cargo came from Egypt in the first place, especially that the plane's owner is shown on plane tracking sites as secret. Who runs the plane? According to Eurocontrol, which specializes in databases for civilian and military planes, the plane is managed by a company called Flying Group Middle East, which has a headquarters in Dubai in the UAE. Our team contacted the company's management in Belgium through the numbers on their LinkedIn profile, and the company representative refused to mention his name, denied any connection with the plane and the branch in Dubai, saying the company is not responsible for managing that private plane and they don't have any branches in Dubai. What about the alloys? Zambian authorities' investigations showed that the alloys are gold-plated, not pure gold, rather a mix of multiple metals, mainly copper, around 61%, and zinc, 38%, and small amounts of tin and nickel. A source in the precious minerals and jewelry department in the Chamber of Commerce, we are withholding his name, stated to our team that smiths don't pour copper or any other metal other than gold in alloys, and that this is done illegally for commercial fraud, especially that copper is not as valuable as gold. He also pointed out that gold alloys are marked with stamps from the countries and companies that make them, and by examining the photos of the alloys on the plane, it didn't show any stamps. So there you have it, folks, a quick summary of the shit show so far. This whole continent and region is so cursed to the point it's entertaining to watch. This video was rushed and done in an all-nighter, so please, if you enjoyed it, you know the drill. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, I had to do multiple retakes of many segments because of fucking motorbikes rushing by and covering my own voice. Peace out.